Fighting games is a genre most people pass off as too hard and thus never really try them. And to be honest, can you blame them? The combos, motion inputs, fucking frame data, and way more. And I was one of these people for years. I didn't play FGs because of the perceived difficulty, but that kind of changed. So let's cover my story for a bit. The only previous experience with FGs is Mortal Kombat 2 for an hour that I played with my cousin in a random restaurant. Smash Wii U with my family, and the reason I was afraid of fighting games, Tekken 1 and 3 on the PS1. But calling this experience would be an overstatement. At most, I will call it button mashing, but it was probably more bouncing around on swords than playing. So for years I ignored fighting games until I saw a video, and the best part is it isn't even related to fighting games. It was a Dark Main video, and in the song he played Smell of the Game. If you play fighting games or play Guilty Gear, you know this song. But I fucking loved it. I looked it up, and this put me in like a downward spiral. This song introduced me to Guilty Gear and its godlike OST. For around 2 weeks I wound up listening to this OST exclusively. At some point I wondered what all these songs meant, so I started searching for lore videos. I want to remind you that I follow lore for games that I don't play if it's good enough. And after that I committed a grave sin, something you shouldn't do if you don't plan to play a game. I looked up guides, and from that point onwards, I was consuming way too much Strife content. You can see these people here. These are people I watched for around a week to 2 weeks until the fabled day hit. The start of the Steam summer sales, and seeing how Guilty Gear Strife was on sale, I gave in and I bought the season 1 pass as well. So this is like my journey playing a fighting game from basically zero experience, unless you count Smash, but I don't think that really counts for this game. When first opening the game, I naturally waited like 3 fucking hours for it to load, and went to the tutorial. This is really helpful, to be honest. It teaches things like small combos, what bursts are, what roaming cancels are, even though I still don't really use them. But at a certain point I got stuck. I wanted to play Mei because I really like her song. Yes, this was my main motivation. I know it isn't really a good one. But I struggle with how charge attacks works and how to fit them in combos and stuff. To the point I got stuck at this combo tutorial for a solid 30 minutes. At this point I realized even though I really like her song, she doesn't really fit my playstyle. So I looked for a new character. My thoughts immediately went to Ramnatel Valentine because I watched the entire story of Exarch and really liked the Borgar scene. Borgar. No, and the dog. I love them. After trying her skills, I went balls in and went to the tower. I was placed floor 4, and I thought I was gonna instantly drop to 1, but I didn't. While I only won 1 game, that 1 game felt super empowering and really made me feel proud. But the game after, I got absolutely destroyed by Indago. Like, all matches were perfect. It was a massacre. The second day I played in the park and actually won a match. This gave me a lot of confidence, and I went to practice a bit more in the park and training mode, so I can begin to hit motion inputs more. I want to remind you that at this point, the second I get put on the player 2 side, I am at an extreme disadvantage because I just can't hit the reverse inputs yet. I also tried Geo a bit, and I might learn her a bit after I learned Ram enough, so I can have a secondary if needed. Now, if you see that this day is pretty empty, there's a reason for that. That's because I watched the story, and holy fucking shit, you see this video on the best 3D anime? Fuck that shit. This is the best 3D anime. Expect to see like a full video on this standalone in the future, because otherwise I will end up ranting about this for hours in this one. Day 3. I began to hit motion inputs consistently and faster, to the point I can use it to react to whiffs of enemies, but the player 2 side remains a problem for me at this point. I feel comfortable enough to start making up my own combos. While they aren't optimal for the level I'm at, they suffice, because real combos are still too hard for me. Blocking for me isn't really a problem. Reading the moves my enemy makes and what combos they repeat is surprisingly easy for me, but this kinda carried over from other games. I'm just surprisingly good at this by nature. So while blocking goes well for me, my main problem at this point is getting out of it and reversing the pressure at this point. I always lose the neutral game and end up in the corner, but I do end up winning around 1 out of 10 games. And this goes over to my main point of the day, leaving. Well, this isn't really something I have brought up at this point, but a lot of people destroy me, but the second I begin to read them and I'm able to react and do damage, they leave. This has happened a lot at this point and is really demoralizing. I'm looking at you, that one Zato main on floor 5. You know who you are. Fuck you. Day 4 was probably my best day so far. It began with me beating a Faust 3-0. Now, this might not seem as big deal, but this Faust beat me 2 days ago and utterly destroyed me. So this shows I have improved. That poke fishing hook move still fucks me up though. Now at this day, I'm beginning to get the hang of things and win matches. How much do I get the hang of things? Well, I begin to win matches to the point where my next line in my notes is... And after that, this one. This was a roller coaster of a day, because I also got to play against another Ram main. Really cool, except the fact that I had to play in literal slow motion. I won though, so it's all good. After a while, I got D-ranked back to floor 5, and to be honest, I think for the time being I belong there. At the moment, Geo matchups remain hard to deal with for me personally. I don't know why. Maybe it's Ram, maybe it's just I suck at it. Day 5. A lot of levers to the point I wanted to drop it for the day, and after a lot of levers, found an Angie that surprisingly began to lag the second I began to take over the game and dealt damage. On the plus side though, I got destroyed by a bike and she read me really hard. Now, this might sound like a bad thing, but I learned a few things from this. 1. I am very easy to read, as in a lot of blocking, repeating a lot of moves. And 2. I always block air attacks and never do anti-air moves. This probably is the main reason I lost that match, but now I can remember it. From day 6 to 15 I was on vacation, but I have 3 notes about them. Day 6, Guilty Gear has taken over my mind now. When I am bored, I begin to think of what moves to do, and how things could combo. I tried them afterwards when I got back, and the combos I had in my head just don't work. I don't know what was going on in my mind at that point. Day 8. I now know what these numbers mean. These are meant to visualize the move on a keyboard. So this is something for newcomers probably. The fucking fighting game veterans know this, but this is just for newcomers. I will also have guides of terminology, like in the corner somewhere probably. But when a move is described as like 2-3-6, they meant like a quarter circle, like a right upward, like a bottom right corner circle. I'm gonna visualize this, it's hard to describe. This is probably what the numbers, but they correlate with a numpad. It's really easy to remember, but it took me a while to realize what the fuck these things meant. But now I know. I hope if you didn't know as well, you know, now also know what it meant. Day 9. This was when I saw a meme. I realized Ram doesn't wear shoes because everyone who talks about Ram mains talks about foot fetishes. So yeah, I didn't notice. I picked her because the burger and the dog. I don't have a foot fetish. I probably still gotta be like call someone who has a foot fetish despite this. Is there a mod that can give her shoes so I can disprove this shit? Like please. Day 16. So this is the day after I came back. Because I was rusty, even though I wasn't good to begin with, it's gotten worse due to the vacation. I played arcade to warm up and I actually managed to beat Nago, but Faust helped me. Faust helped me in the end. Faust helped me, and I lost the first time though. But after not even reaching the boss the first time I tried it a few days ago, this feels super good. So I went to tower and D-ranked to floor 4. I probably should have played a bit in park before trying tower, but oops, never mind, I got back to floor 5 in 2 matches. I also realized that Sabrobato is negative on block, even though I like use this one the most. 6-2-3P begins to come out naturally. At this point, the main struggle I have is with Mortobato. It doesn't come out whenever I want it to. In the footage in the background, you can probably see me trying to spam it. You see me ducking twice and then and then doing just a heavy slash. But no, I'm just struggling trying to make my special happen. While this isn't a lot, I've barely played 20 hours at the time of writing, including the story mode. The fact that improvement is so clear and easy to see, even from an inexperienced player, shows that fighting games shouldn't scare you away. While it isn't easy and you will lose a lot in the beginning, I feel it gives your victories a sweeter taste. If you start, you don't need to know frame data or the most optimal combos. Just be a casual and play how you feel comfortable. When you feel you really want to improve, start to look at combos and frame data. The fighting game community is probably one of the most welcome communities there are from my perspective. When you want help with a matchup or how to play, they will gladly help. So this is kind of a calling card to people who don't play fighting games. Try them, who knows, maybe you'll finally find out one game you can spend hundreds of hours on, or breaks your League addiction. But as long as you look away with the excuse that they're too hard, you'll never actually know if they are too hard. Just try them. You'll get destroyed, but that's also the fun of it. It isn't winning, it's the improving. Winning is just a side effect because of it. So yeah, I've been gone for a while, and that has multiple reasons. I'm kind of juggling a few projects and finding it hard to balance them. But I'll try to upload a bit more here. But hey, during the time I was busy, 3 videos reached 200 views and 1 even 500. Let's not talk about view retention though. And I want to say thank you to those people. It might not seem like a lot, but this gives me a lot of confidence to make more videos. So thank you, and see you next time, where I'll probably talk about Guilty Gear again, but then more about the story.
Slap!